Good morning. There's a beautiful sunrise here. So a little after 7. Sun's already risen and lighting up the mountains. It's already feeling quite a bit warmer. Slept pretty cozy last night inside my Thermarest Hyperion for a 20 degree sleeping bag. Yeah, my big Agnes Aircore Ultra with a good R value kept me quite elevated off the ground, so that's helpful as well. I've got this Trekology Deluxe pillow, which is higher than what most people would probably like for a pillow, but for me, sometimes I sleep on my side, so it's nice because if you turn around on your shoulder, it kind of keeps you level. The only downside is this single wall tent that I've got. There's quite a lot of moisture build up, so moisture seems to be getting on my down sleeping bag, which is not a great situation. However, it is the Thermarest is a hydrophobic down, so it should be water repellent down. And I noticed that inside the sleeping bag I couldn't really notice any moisture, so it's just on the outside, but still I'm going to want to dry it out. This is gorgeous. I think I'm going to get up and start getting moving, start getting ready for the day. What a beautiful morning. So one of the pieces of gear that I got for this trip is this Outdoor Research Transcendence down jacket. This is it packed, so you would have seen me wearing it earlier, but this thing's pretty cozy, pretty snug. It's actually got a hood. There's a version without a hood as well, I believe, but it's kept me warm. And just to give you a comparison, this is my rain jacket stuffed. So you can see it's almost as small. So yeah, it's pretty handy because you can just stuff that in your pack when you're hiking along the trail. Get it out, throw it on when the temperature starts to drop. And if you get cold in the night, you can put it on in your sleeping bag. It'll keep you nice and snug. So yeah, good piece of gear. Another day of bushwhacking, descending down into the Vallecito Creek Trail, and this is what I'm trying to navigate through. The trail somewhere, I'll probably make it to the trail here in a minute. I'm just going to follow the creek. That only took a minute, but I had to come through that. That wasn't easy. Whew. But yeah, there's the trail. Hey bear! So this isn't the trail. I was down there following the creek, and according to my navigator, my GPS, I was right on the trail, but I'm not risking slipping and falling over in the creek. And I've already got my feet wet enough on this trip. They're pretty wet again, but this is more pleasant. Just need to keep an eye out for what could be around. So I'm back on the trail. Got lost a little ways up there. Was following it down the valley, and it seemed to fade into some rockfall, and then it got into some thick brush. So became a little bit lost, but I knew roughly what way I was going, and I knew that the trail was close enough to the creek. So I ended up on the wrong side of the bank of the creek there, but managed to get down before it got too steep, and now back on it. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Looks like things just opened up here a little bit. Wow, that's some view. San Juan Mountains. So this is where the Rock Creek Trail diverges from the Vallecito Creek Trail. I just came from up that direction. I'm assuming we go this way, but I'm going to stop, take a break. Now ascending Rock Creek Trail. It's going to be a lot of uphill right at the beginning, and then it should level off somewhere up here, but I expect it's going to be a little bit of a slog here at the start. It's a little bit overgrown here. This is starting to look less like a trail, more like a creek, but can't see where the trail would have went, so I'm just going to keep following it. Boulder hopping. Now I could be wrong, but all this moss here from this deadfall, pretty sure serves pretty good kindling, or you know, something to get a fire started. So I'm going to gather some of it, put it in my pocket, and if I decide to have a fire tonight or tomorrow night, I've got plenty of fuel. So it looks like we've made it to the ridge. The trail's starting to level off now. Still on Rock Creek Trail, heading towards Rock Lake. Still got about maybe 2.5 miles to go. With the trail having leveled off, it should be easier getting up there now. I think there might be some more ascent before I get there, but hopefully it's nothing like what I just went through. It wasn't too bad coming up here. It was moderate incline. Starting to get some good views as well. Starting to get some good views. I've had good views this whole time, but yeah. So we got into this rock area. As you can see, there's rocks everywhere. Beautiful mountains. But yeah, I was following the trail and I come into this. And the trail's literally right there, I think. But somebody's been nice enough to mark the trail with a cairn. So I saw that. So I know the trail's right here. But otherwise, I'd be following these rocks and then that might turn into bushwhacking. And that does not sound appealing. So yeah, got to keep an eye out. Absolutely gorgeous mountains. Now this is what I'm talking about. Now that print, well, there's one overlapping the other one there, but those paws look pretty big. I'm just thinking, could it be a coyote or a really big dog or something else? Yeah. I've not heard of wolves in this area. I know that northern Colorado has wolves, but just interesting to see that. I've seen it here and there, but we've heard coyotes, so I would assume coyote or dog. Final push for the day. I've decided I'm going to try and make it up near Twin Lakes. I think there's a couple of unnamed tarns up there, so if I can get up there, I'll be near water and I'll be at high elevation. Not as high as it was last night, but it'll give me a good start for tomorrow. So that's the goal. I think I've got a little over half a mile maybe. It's going to be a steep climb, so this might be tough going. So another little detour. I ended up following the Rock Creek Trail almost all the way up to Rock Lake, so there would have been a divergence at some point to get up that way, but this way is not too far out the way. This trail should take me all the way up and over that ridge, and hopefully to where there are some lakes. So getting up there, probably got a couple hundred more feet to go before I meet the ridge up there. Once I'm up there, it gets flat. There's a couple of small lakes, so I'm going to push forward and try and get there before it gets too late. So this is what I was looking for, a sign at long last. So obviously Flint Lake, well, Flint Creek's that way, so is Flint Lake, I would assume. Rock Creek and Rock Lake way back that way, round to the left, and then way down there, and then way over to the right is the direction I came from. So it's been a long day, but we're almost there, over this ridge, and hopefully I'll see signs of a lake or a pond or something, and a good camping spot. Alright, almost at 12,000 feet. So it's just coming up for 6:20. I found a place to call camp right next to this pond. Managed to push myself over that ridge behind me. It's quite tough going, but I feel like the worst is behind me now. All the hard stuff. I expect there will be some incline tomorrow, some ups and downs. But tomorrow is going to be a tough day, so I'm going to get my camp set up and get something to eat. So yeah. Good morning. It is day 4 here in the Weminuche Wilderness. Had a good sleep last night for the most part. It rained on and off. There was quite a bit of wind as well, but got a good rest. Got to bed early, getting an early start this morning. Just need to get my tent packed up. There was a little bit of moisture build up inside my tent again. I think I might be going from a single wall to a double wall tent after this trip. Some of the moisture drips onto the sleeping bag. I'm lucky that I got a hydrophobic down sleeping bag, so the moisture doesn't really penetrate, but still. But yeah, today's going to be a good day. The goal is to get to where I camped on the first night with Eric when we first came in. So maybe hiking along a few different trails. The Flint Lake trail, I'll be joining onto the Continental Divide trail again, and then from there it'll be the East Ute Creek trail back to where we camped. So it's going to be about 8.5, 9 miles maybe. There shouldn't be too much elevation gain. I'm already at about 12,000 feet where I'm at right now, so the past couple of days have been kind of tough. So I'd say day 2 was the toughest, getting up to Nebo Lake, or Nebo Mountain, the lake up there. But yeah, today shouldn't be too bad, especially with all the hours I've got ahead of me. The other thing is I've developed 3 or 4 blisters, so I'll have to take it a little bit easy so they don't get any worse. But yeah, that's all down to day 1 when we were coming in and we crossed the Rio Grande River, and I took my socks off and wore my shoes when I hiked across the river, and didn't put my socks back on, didn't dry my feet, hiked for several miles with wet feet in my shoes. So that was clumsy, but we all make mistakes out here. It's all a learning curve. So, and my feet aren't too bad, so I think I can get these 8.5 miles in today. But anyway, time to get the tent packed up and get moving. So I've reached the intersection here. This sign says Flint Creek. However, my GPS, my navigator's telling me that this is the pack trail. So this will take me a little bit further out the way. This direction here should take me round Flint Lakes, and then eventually it should connect up to the CDT. So it also says Ute Lake there, 8 miles. So I believe this is the way to go. I think I'm on the trail again. There's a little stone cairn thing there. Although down there, that could be a path. It's so hard to tell up here. The brush is thick. And all you've got is some gravel and stones, which is everywhere. I know I'm going in the right direction. Yeah, that might be the trail there, actually. Just come down these rocks. It really is a nuisance when the trail just fades in and out of the brush and foliage. Then you're constantly trying to guess whether you're on it or not. But yeah, this looks like a trail. This looks much more like a trail. So another trail dilemma. So am I supposed to be up on that ridge there? Am I supposed to be down in this little gully here? Or am I supposed to be on the other side? Either way, I think I'm getting down there somehow. So I'm going to check the map, try and rule something out. I'm thinking I rule out that ridge, but got to be sure. Always helps to have a map and GPS out here, because you never know when you're off trail. So my decision earlier was not the correct decision to descend that little gully, but luckily I was checking my GPS and could see that I was going off course, so managed to navigate myself all the way back up to where the trail was. And it's been kind of rough going, not in terms of elevation, but just in terms of trying to follow the trail. It fades in and out of these rocky outcrops, and then it gets into some deep brush pretty constantly. And then on top of that, the weather's not been great. But if it weren't for my experience in the Scottish mountains, I'd probably not be in a very good place right now. But yeah, that gully that I almost descended into would have taken me in the complete wrong direction, so I'm glad that I made the decision to navigate my way back up to the trail, and then instead of taking a right I took a left, and that took me uphill, so now I think I'm fairly certain I'm headed in the right direction now. Everything's looking good, the trail's somewhat visible. But yeah, there's cairn trail markers here and there. It would be nice if there was something else to follow, but yeah, we're getting there. So I've came a ways along the trail now after getting a little bit lost. If we're going off trail briefly, navigating myself back onto the trail, and luckily it's been not too bad. There's definitely been bits where the trail's faded in and out of the rocky outcrop that sits all around. There's a little spot where the trail kind of went into some brush, and I just happened to be on the right side of the rocky outcrop, so I went ahead and built a little cairn, something like, let me see, that one behind me, except probably just a few stones. But yeah, I feel like that's helpful in this landscape because it's easy to get turned around, but it is beautiful here. The sun's finally came out as well. It's been raining for the better part of the morning, but starting to see some sunshine. Off here quick if the sun comes out. Pretty sogging wet. But yeah, with the sun being out now, hopefully things get a little bit easier. Wonderful. Another crossing. So far today's been a mixture of incline and descent. It looks like the next wee bit I'm going to be on the incline again, getting up to a little over 12,000 feet, somewhere around 12,100. But then after that, it should all be downhill, which I'm thoroughly looking forward to. But hiking through all this brush is not fun. Back there, it was tall, and I got absolutely soaked. So that's me at the intersection with the CDT again. So I'll be following this all the way to East Ute Creek Trail. So hopefully it's much more easy to navigate than what I've just came through. The sun's starting to come out as well, so hopefully it warms up a bit. So I think I'm about to approach the ridgeline here shortly. I was on the CDT for a little bit. Now over 12,000 feet again. The weather's not been great. There's been quite a bit of rain. At least the wind's gentle. But yeah, we're making some progress now. Hopefully here soon we'll be getting over this ridge and then descending down towards East Ute Creek. Hopefully the weather lets up here soon. There's the ridge. After you get past that, there shouldn't be much more incline. This rain is not letting up. This is brutal. That's me on the other side of the ridge now, starting to descend into the valley. As you can see, the weather's really closed in. Still got a view, but it's not much. You can see the forest below. That'll descend down to Ute Creek, East Ute Creek Trail. Yeah. Clouds are moving in. Time to move. Been descending this valley along East Ute Creek for a while now. The weather hasn't let up at all. I'm drenched to the bone, but at least I'm down from up there. From here on out it's all downhill, except for the very end when I get to the spot I'm going to try and set up camp at. But all the elevation gain is behind me now. I just wish the weather was behind me too. But at least it's just sprinkling. Knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't start pouring down again. Getting down here hasn't been too much of an issue compared to the other trails that I've dealt with today. It's pretty straightforward. Just follow the path, follow the horse hoof prints. But yeah, got about maybe 3.5 miles before we'll get back to where we camped on the first night. If I make good progress, I might decide to push on a wee bit further, but that will depend on the weather and what time it is. But for now, that's the plan, to get back there, get a sheltered area to set up camp, Aye. Got about another 2 miles on this trail before I reach the area near Black Lake. This rain hasn't stopped. I'm thinking I might even press on and try and get down to Lost Trail Campground, because honestly I'm not sure about spending another night up this high, especially being this wet. I mean, if the rain doesn't let off, if it doesn't let up, then I'm not going to get very dry. So yeah, I'll just press on and see how things go. I might go a little bit further than I planned today, but hopefully this stops. We'll just have to see. Headed towards Rock Lake now. Some horses. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to push forward, get myself down out of this place. It's beautiful here, but this weather is not conducive to camping, especially at this elevation. I can already feel myself getting cold, so I'm going to move forward. So I'm finally past the worst of this, I think. Descending down to the West Ute Creek Trail, back to Lost Trail Campgrounds. It looks like the clouds are starting to give, the rain stopped. It is 5 o'clock though, and I'm cold and I'm wet. So try to get down there as quick as I possibly can before it gets dark. It's been a long day. By the end of this it'll be about 15 miles I've put in, so yeah. Anyway, so getting lower and lower in elevation now. There's mist up the hills with the trees there. Making progress back to the campsite. So obviously you might be wondering why I'm choosing to go back to the campsite instead of making camp up at where we camped on the first night. Well, there's at least a couple of different reasons. One, the rain. It's been so wet, and all my stuff's wet. I got drenched, and as a result of that, I got pretty cold, shivery, maybe borderline hypothermic, borderline. Some ways back there, I decided to try and dry myself off after the rain stopped, and switch out layers. So now I'm wearing my thermal base layer plus thermal jacket plus my rain jacket plus my cap, my beanie. But I'm starting to feel much better now. I've got myself hydrated and fed. I think before that I was probably not doing so good, but now I'm feeling great. Anyway, I did pass another backpacker way up there. I think he was heading in the Flint Lakes direction from where I came this morning. He said he started off in Elk Park, which was actually the area that me and Eric were looking at starting from way back when we were planning this, getting the train in. But we decided against that because it would be a little bit complicated, plus we'd be on a tight time schedule, try to get the train back, and it would cost a bit as well, so we decided against that. There was also, looked like there would have been a lot of incline coming from that direction, and it's a further ways in. So anyway, that guy, his name was Jared, I think he said his aunt dropped him off. But going in that direction you're going to get higher and higher, so I'm just putting this on here so you know, because obviously you've got to be a little bit concerned about your fellow backpackers, especially in these weather conditions. So I hope you managed to navigate through that safely, and hope he's found an alright place to camp. It's not too high up, because camping at high elevation after getting drenched is not fun. Plus I get the vibe that this weather front is probably going to linger up there, but as I'm descending it's getting clearer and clearer, so that's good. Almost there. It's been a long day. I can see the sign. The river's just down there. We have to cross it before it gets dark, and then head up to Lost Trail Campgrounds. It's been bloody exhausting. Almost done with the day. Time to get our feet wet one last time. Looks high. Alright. Successfully got across, and I'm soaked. Not that I wasn't already soaked, but soaked again. But yeah, that's the final stretch. Done. We're out of here. Back to the campgrounds. It's probably about half mile, which isn't too far. But I'm going to try and get there before it gets dark. It's already getting pretty dark though, so just try and stay on my toes. But yeah, this has been an awesome trip. It's just a shame the weather put a damper on the last day. I feel like everything else with this trip has been awesome, just today's been a slog. So it's hard to enjoy when it's like that, but that's the way it is. Alright, time to get back to camp.